clever people, and welcome to my review for the Lego Batman movie. So the Lego Batman movie is a spin-off of the Lego movie, a movie I very much like, and it revolves around the story of the character, the Lego Batman. He's this huge celebrity, he fights a lot of crime, and it's about his relationships with the Joker, with the new orphan he just adopted, and all these different things. It's sort of just a culmination of a ton of scenes revolving around the character, the Lego Batman. Back in 2014, the Lego movie came out and was a surprising success. It made tons of money, a lot of people loved it, so of course they want to continue with this franchise. They already have the Lego Batman movie, they have the upcoming Lego Ninjago movie, and they have the Lego movie 2. They're moving full steam ahead, so their first non-Lego movie film is the Lego Batman movie. I was excited for this movie. I had watched a couple of Batman movies preparing for it. I do really like the character of Batman. He's actually like my favorite superhero. And I really like as previously mentioned, I really do like the Lego movie. So of course I was excited for this one. However, I do have to say that this movie let me down. It's not a bad movie, but the Lego Batman movie really could have been a lot better. One thing that this movie definitely has is fantastic animation. It's made to look stop motion, but it's actually like animation, and it looks phenomenal. Every single shot looks just fantastic. It's stunning, the animation in this movie. They clearly spent a lot of time with it, and in fact, I think it even looks a little better than the Lego movie. And the Lego movie's animation was already great, but over 3 years, they've already improved it by a lot, and the Lego's moving just is so seamless and fantastic. It's hardly choppy anymore. In the first Lego movie, they had some scenes where the Lego's moving was a little choppy, but in this one, it's very consistent flow of movement, which was very, very well done. I also have to say that a lot of the jokes in this movie land. I'd say it's like 60% land, 40% don't, and for the 60% that do, they were fantastic. The movie tries to have jokes constantly, every 5 or 10 seconds, but it doesn't feel annoying because it fits what's happening, it fits the story, and it never feels jarring or out of place. They have a lot of jokes to the original Batman movies. You saw in the trailer that Alfred mentioned the various different phases that Batman has gone through, including, like the weird one in 1966. A lot of younger kids won't understand that, and a lot of the main age, a lot of people, normal people wouldn't understand that. But for the people that have seen the original Batman, or for the people that just know about how weird and crazy it is, it's really funny to see done on screen. They even mentioned like the 1948 Batman, which was insane because I thought that most people had forgotten about it, but it was actually mentioned, and it was great that they had all these references to the original Batman movies. They also had a lot of great references to the cliche story structure, such as a character that is, probably going to get in trouble, or probably going to get in a predicament, and he's sort of driving along, being like, haha, nothing happens to me, and a lot of people look at him and say, he's such a nice guy, I hope nothing happens to him. And they make fun of the cliche narrative structure that you see in practically every movie these days, and it works out really well. It doesn't make complete and total fun of it, and it follows it sometimes, but it's understood because while they're making fun of it, it's also very well done jokes that aren't just insulting it just to be insulting. The voice acting, too, is spot on for practically everyone. Ralph Fiennes as the butler is just phenomenal. Will Arnett as Batman fits the role very, very well. He has a very low speaking voice throughout most of the movie, and you rarely ever see him talk normally, but it fits with the character. And Michael Cera as Robin, I would say, is near perfect. His voice fits so perfectly with the character. He, emits a lot of emotion in his voice when it's needed. I thought that Michael Cera did a fantastic job voicing Robin. And also, a lot of the action is fun. They don't show it a lot. There's a lot of cuts away from it so that you don't see what's going on, so it could be very family friendly. But it's very fun to see done on screen and just see the Lego pieces just breaking apart. I do have quite a few bads with the Lego Batman movie. A lot of them is that it's not really as immersive as the Lego movie. I know I probably shouldn't compare them because they're two different movies, but really, the Lego Batman movie isn't immersive, it isn't an experience, and honestly, I found it quite forgettable. I'll definitely remember a lot of the jokes, and I'll remember the feeling that it gave me, but in the end of the day, it's really just kind of a forgettable movie that I don't really remember all too well. It doesn't have that fun, constant energy like the first Lego movie did. For the first 30 or 40 minutes, this had constant energy and it was very fun and fast. But it sort of starts going downhill and it starts dragging. And when it starts doing that, the movie becomes less and less entertaining. The main thing that this movie should have been is entertaining, and for the most part it's entertaining, but a lot of it isn't, and a lot of it feels very out of place, and actually it ends up start to drag. It drags very, very hard, actually, and it really detracts from the film. There's also a lack of a strong story in this movie. Really, the whole movie is about the connection between Batman and Joker, and then Batman and the Orphan, and Batman with a few other people. But besides that, this movie really doesn't have a strong story. When it's trying to have a story, it spoon-feeds you every single piece of information you need to know. They have a lot of mentions of the Justice League, and you get to see them on screen and stuff, but it's not like you get to understand why, Batman wasn't invited to the party that they're having. You don't really understand a lot of these things, and the lack of a strong story really hurt the movie. The Lego Movie has a very strong story. It's this one normal civilian that's supposedly just another worker in line that ends up becoming this huge figure, and what he does going through that, and in the end, I don't want to spoil the Lego Movie if you haven't seen it, but you know what the movie does in the last part of it, and it's actually very, very powerful stuff, and it was very well done. This movie, though, really, really doesn't have that. It has a very weak story, a very ham-fisted, forced-in-your-face message that very much detracted from the film. The message absolutely was ham-fisted. It was forced in your face. There's even a Lego brick at one point that looks at the screen and starts telling the message. And when you go that far, it's like they don't have any subtlety, nothing more other than jokes that adults will understand, because every single thing is so unsubtle. The message is insanely unsubtle. It's just forced in kids' faces. Characters don't even, they don't show the message. They have a character say it, and okay, maybe it's fine if they say it once because it is a kids' movie, but they say it 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 times, and it gets repetitive and annoying after a while. And also, they have a lot of tone changes. These were intentional to sort of make it seem like, oh, suddenly Batman has this paroxysm of feeling, but they were very jarring and actually kind of took me out of the movie. In the end of the day, the Lego Batman movie is not a bad movie. It's fine. I don't love it. It's just a good movie. It was very much a letdown because I was expecting it to be a fantastic film. I was expecting it to be great because of its high Rotten Tomatoes score and the high praise it's been getting. But in the end of the day, the Lego Batman movie was kind of forgettable, had some very good jokes, some very entertaining moments, some great animation, but it just wasn't immersive and quite forgettable. And that is why I will give the Lego Batman movie a 6.25 out of 10. Alright, that concludes my review for the Lego Batman movie. What are your thoughts on this film? Comment in the comment section below and let me know. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.